most of us, this might resemble our daily lives, but what if I was to tell you that this peaceful drive in your neighborhood could turn into this tomorrow?
This is one of our darkest days as a city, and I know that we're much better than this.
The growing storm, emerging threats facing the United States. Welcome back, Patriots. I'm Kelly with Patriot Prepper. The world is changing fast, and as a prepared citizen, it is crucial that we stay informed about the dangers that lie ahead, from political unrest within our own borders, escalating tensions abroad. We're facing a storm of threats. In today's video, we'll be diving deep into the 5 most pressing issues that could impact the United States here in the near future. From civil unrest, cyber attacks, gang violence, and a global theater of war, we're breaking it all down. Let's get into it. The rise of political riots and civil unrest. Political tensions have been on a rise in the United States for years now. But in 2024, we're seeing it spike. The upcoming elections are stoking flames, with extremists from both sides growing louder and more confrontational. Political riots, civil unrest are no longer an if, but when. Let's look at the most recent events. We've witnessed movements like the BLM protests, even localized militias clashing. As frustrations build over inflation, government policies, and growing mistrust of institutions and government, future riots could be larger and more organized. And unlike in the past, these riots may not be contained in these major cities. It could spill out into suburbs where many of us consider it safe. So what do we have to do? It is vital to stay informed. Understand the political climate in your area and be prepared to either defend your home or evacuate if necessary, meaning bugging out. Stock up on supplies, build local community networks, and stay vigilant. This unrest could escalate quickly. Also, so we have the growing threat of cyber attacks.
Pelosi went to Taiwan last August. Among the many topics at issue between the two countries will be China's active program of cyber attacks against the U.S. And joining me now is Jen Easterly, the director of the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, known as CISA. Director, there's a new report also that several U.S. federal government agencies have been hit in a major cyber attack. What do we know about it?
Yeah, so it's a software that federal agencies and companies across the world use. We put out an advisory about this last week, and we're responding to it.
Cyber attacks used to seem something like out of a sci-fi movie, but now it's actually a daily reality. Just this year, we've seen critical infrastructures like the Colonial Pipeline fall victim to cyber attacks, leaving millions without fuel for days. And these weren't just random attacks. Many of these attacks were state-sponsored by countries like Russia, China, North Korea. What makes cyber attack warfare so dangerous is its ability to cripple the entire nation without firing a single shot. We're talking about power grids going down, water supplies being poisoned, hospitals unable to function. In a world where we're more connected than ever, these cyber attacks could disrupt everything from our bank accounts to our national defense systems. Recent intelligence reports suggest that foreign actors are not only targeting these large corporations, but also small towns, local governments, and even individuals. The goal? Chaos, confusion, destabilization. What can you do to be prepared? Back up your critical data. Invest in cybersecurity for your home systems. Have a plan on when the power does go out. Have physical cash on hand and learn basic survival skills so you don't have to rely on modern technology. Next, we have illegal immigrant gangs, and it's a growing threat. As the southern border crisis escalates, another looming danger is taking shape. Illegal immigrant gangs. We're not just talking about people just looking for a better life. We're talking about violent groups like MS-13, cartel-affiliated gangs, and other criminal organizations are exploiting our border crisis to infiltrate the United States. These gangs are involved in human trafficking, can't talk, drug smuggling, violent crimes in the U.S. cities and suburbs. Their presence is growing, and law enforcement agencies are struggling to keep up. According to the recent Department of Homeland Security, some like 1.6 million illegal immigrants have crossed into the United States just this year, most of them unvetted, which I do believe that number to be higher. Among these are gang members, hardened criminals who are establishing a foothold in American communities. So, what does this mean for the average citizen? Crime rates, especially violent crimes, are likely to affect towns and cities far from the border. It's crucial to be aware of local gang activities in your area and work with local law enforcement to keep communities safe. Stay aware of your surroundings and consider self-defense options, as gang violence could become more common. And then next, so we have the global escalation of conflicts, right? And the impact on the United States. The world is more interconnected than ever before. And conflicts abroad have a direct impact on us here at home. Right now, we're watching major flashpoints unfold across the globe. In Ukraine, the war with Russia continues to escalate, drawing more countries into its web.
Стань земля вправо! За М-кою! За М-кою! Накид! Давай! Давай, пішов! Да! Давай-ка!
Meanwhile, tension between China, Taiwan threatened to boil over. And if China makes a move on Taiwan, the U.S. will be dragged into yet another war. Why should you care? These conflicts are not just distant battles. They affect our economy, our security, and potentially our military draft. Supply chains disruptions, energy shortages, skyrocketing defense budgets could all come to a head. We're already feeling the squeeze of inflation and the economic instability, and the war abroad can make things significantly worse here at home. If the U.S. becomes more heavily involved in these global conflicts, it could lead to further national division as the American public debates over the cost of war. But there's also a very real threat to these conflicts escalating into direct attacks on U.S. soil, especially through cyber means, as we discussed earlier. So how do we prepare for something this massive? Stay informed about international affairs. Keep a close eye on the U.S. foreign policy. Stockpile essential goods, as global trade disruptions could make certain supplies scarce. Most importantly, maintain a readiness mindset, as the ripple effect of these conflicts could hit the U.S. really when we least expect them. So pretty much it's like a perfect storm. How these threats can converge, I mean, each of these threats is dangerous on its own. But what's truly alarming is how they could interact. Imagine a scenario, a cyber attack shuts down the power grid, just say in a major city. And as law enforcement struggles to restore order, then next thing you know, political riots break out. In the chaos, gangs take control of certain areas, and the US government shifts its focus to international conflicts. We could see a full-blown national crisis. As prepared citizens, we must think about the worst case scenario and how we can protect ourselves and our family. The question is, are you ready for the storm? So, what do we got to do? The threats we're facing are real, but that doesn't mean we have to panic. It means we need to prepare smarter, plan further ahead, and be ready for anything. Whether it's stockpiling essential goods, fortifying your home, or staying informed about the political and international landscape, really. Every action you take today can make a difference tomorrow. So I have some practical prepping tips tailored to help you stay prepared for the types of emergencies and crises we discussed earlier in this video. My number one tip would be stockpile essentials. Start with the basics. This could be hard during a crisis. So water, store at least 1 gallon of water per person per day with a minimum of 2 weeks supply. Consider investing in water purification tablets or filters like the Life Straw or Sawyer Mini. Food. So stockpile non-perishable foods. Foods with long shelf life, like canned goods, rice, beans, peas, pasta, peanut butter, freeze-dried meals. Aim for at least 3 months supply. Rotate your stock, keep it fresh. And then once you get your 3 weeks, continue on. First aid. Have a fully stocked first aid kit that includes bandages, antiseptics, over-the-counter medications, ibuprofen, antihistamines, and prescription medications if needed. And then energy. Consider backup power solutions like maybe solar chargers, battery packs, portable generators. Make sure you have plenty of batteries for your flashlight, radios, and other devices. My next thing would be create a bug out bag. A bug out bag is essential for emergencies that require you to leave home quickly. You'd want to include stuff like your important documents, copies of IDs, passports, maybe medical records, insurance policies, cash. Keep small denominations since ATMs might not be working during a crisis or if it's a cyber attack or something. Basic survival gear. Fire starters, multi-tools, emergency blankets, duct tape, rope, shit like that. Food and water. Have at least enough for 72 hours. You could have high energy bars, water pouches, freeze-dried food, and dehydrated food, but have at least 72 hours worth, 3 days worth of food in your bug out bag. And then of course, clothing and shelter. A change of clothes, sturdy shoes, a tarp or a tent for shelter. Next, strengthen your home security. So in times with civil unrest, crime spikes. We all know this. Your home could become a target. Improve your home security. It could be as easily done as reinforcing doors and windows, installing a deadbolt. Use security bars and reinforce weak entry points. Lighting. You You can install motion activated floodlights around your property. That works to deter intruders. Surveillance, set up security cameras, and consider a home alarm system. Firearms, if you're comfortable and it's legal in your area, consider owning a firearm or more, which I definitely consider owning more than one. But make sure you're trained and you understand your local laws. And then maybe like a neighborhood watch. Establish communication with neighbors. A tight-knit community can provide extra protection during times of unrest. Plan for power outages and communication outages. Cyber attacks or natural disasters can knock out the power grid. So plan ahead. Solar chargers, right? It keeps small devices charged, like your phones, radios. This is always little small solar power chargers. Hand crank radios, essential for receiving. These are essential for receiving news during emergency when the internet goes down. And then a backup cooking method, right? Have alternate ways to cook, like a propane stove, camp stoves, grills, or even a fire pit. And then lighting. So stock up on candles, lanterns, solar lights, flashlights. That's going to help you in a, especially if the grid goes down. And then so prepare for cyber attacks. With cyber threats growing, it's crucial to protect yourself digitally. This means backing up important files, storing copies of vital documents offline and on external hard drives or USBs. Install cybersecurity tools, use antivirus software, enable like that two-way factor authentication, and use a VPN, if possible. And then also, disconnect from the grid if you need to, right? If you believe a cyber attack could target utilities or banking, keep paper copies of your important transactions and avoid online banking. Next, so have a plan for economic disruption. If the economy worsens due to war, inflation, or supply chain disruptions, gold and silver or precious metals could hedge against inflation. Considering holding some physical silver or gold as backup, or lead. Barter items. Stock up on these items that could be valuable in trade. A lot of times it's like alcohol, cigarettes, hygiene products, soap, toothpaste, tools. These could all be good for bartering. And then grow your own food. So learn the basics of gardening and how to preserve food. A small vegetable garden can make a big difference, especially if food prices skyrocket. Next, build mental and physical resilience. Surviving a crisis requires more than just physical preparedness. You need mental strength. So you got to stay fit. Physical health is crucial to a survival scenario. Regular exercise will prepare you for challenges like manual labor, self-defense, or traveling long distances. But with that, mental toughness also. You got to be able to keep calm in high stress situations. And you can do this, practice stress reducing techniques, like if you like to meditate, deep breathing, or even tactical breathing to help you stay focused under pressure. And then skill development. Invest in a survival skill, something like first aid, fire making, navigation, basic mechanics, You know, these skills will be very valuable during an emergency or a crisis. And then, so stay informed and network, meaning knowledge and community is the key. Situational awareness. Stay updated on current events, your local crime trends, especially if it's around where you live, and geopolitical tensions, right? We all know it's getting close to election time. Also, so emergency networks. Develop a communication plan with your family, your friends, neighbors. Establish meeting points and a chain of command. And then also what's useful is prepping groups. You know, you could join your local or online prepper group, sharing knowledge, resources, and tips actually strengthen your ability to survive. So guys, prepping isn't just about hoarding supplies. It's about planning for different scenarios, staying mentally and physically prepared, and maintaining the self-reliant mindset. Being prepared is not living in fear, but being proactive in securing your future in the face of uncertainty. Stay vigilant, and remember, it's better to be ready a year early than a minute too late. Those who prepare today survive tomorrow. I hope y'all liked the video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, like, hit that bell icon, and please subscribe to my channel. Thank you again. Patriot Prepper out.